Welcome to the Talk Chamber. Our next episode in our mini-series, The Best of the Talk Chamber, features our new chair of our board, Duncan Williams. Duncan has been a champion for Memphis and a champion for the Chamber for a long time now. He even helped start our Chairman's Circle. Duncan has a great vision for Memphis and really sees our potential. Take a listen to what Duncan has to say about Memphis and the Chamber.
You know, I'm sure if when Microsoft was in the garage, somebody probably thought, well, this is crazy, right? And now we know. So we want to be supportive of the garage businesses just as much as we do the ones at the top.
I'm your host, Taylor Ann Carpenter, and welcome to the Talk Chamber, a production of the Greater Memphis Chamber. The Talk Chamber is the podcast for the latest on the Chamber, economic development, and all things Memphis. Our guest today is none other than the Duncan Williams, here to talk to us about Chamber Referral Month and why he's a member of the Chamber. Duncan, thanks so much for joining me today.
Well, I don't know about the part, but I do appreciate it and obviously love being here talking about the Chamber and everything that's going on.
So let's just start off. Can you first just tell us how you got involved with the Chamber?
Yes. Actually, interesting story. 13, 14 years ago, I was asked to come to a board meeting. Honestly, at the time, the company was not even a member of the Chamber. Came to the board meeting, obviously super smart, great people. So I was surprised, I think, by the people who were there and then the lack of what I would say community support. But that was kind of my first going-ons as being involved in the Chamber, and then an invitation to join the board came after that.
Awesome. So you said that was 13, 14 years ago, somewhere in there?
That.
And now what's your role with the board?
So now I'm vice chairman and been super excited working with Greg of the past couple of years and all the exciting things that have happened. Have served in the past as chairman of the Chairman's Circle. And so anyway, yeah, just incredible that being able to serve and continuing to serve.
Well, we thank you. We know you work hard and you are somebody who believes in Memphis, and that's the kind of people that we need to lead our city.
Yep, 100%. We all need the 901 tattoo.
We do. In many ways, you've been considered the grandfather of the Chairman's Circle. What inspired you to encourage the Chamber to come off of government funding and represent the true voice of business?
Well, my kids will love that you just said grandfather, so let's stay with the father of it.
Father,
I'm still too young to be all that. But and it's amazing how fast time has gone since the beginning, because really my first board meeting was kind of the beginning of the Chairman's Circle, right? I asked the question, why are we taking government money? And there was not really an answer. It was just at that point in time, that's what we had done. And like so many different organizations, it's kind of like, that's what we've done in the past. We'll just keep doing it. But to me, it was an opportunity to put CEOs, people who cared about this city, to really be the front line. Let's go attack the things that need to be attacked. But if we can't take a stand, then what the hell are you ever going to solve, right? So the Chamber had to be willing to take a stand, and that means upsetting elected officials. That means upsetting, whatever, to kind of rock the boat to get to where we need to be. And if they're funding you, then you have a tendency not to do that. So it was important for us to make sure we were truly a standalone organization that represented the business community.
I mean, that is, our mission is to be the voice of business. And
right.
Like you said, it's a hard thing to do when you need funding from the people that you might be disagreeing with.
100%. But you can't do it, in all honesty. It just doesn't work. And so, and we've proven that, I think, since the beginning of the Chairman's Circle, and to watch it grow and how it's growing, and obviously what y'all and everybody at the Chamber doing now as far as staff is just incredible that we are where we are. But it wouldn't have been possible if those first adopters wouldn't have believed, and because it was a big ask, and I had many say, you're crazy, this will never work, but I'm in, so go make it work, and here we sit today with 220 plus Chairman's Circle members, and it's just incredible.
Last I heard 225, but it could have changed since then.
Miss Nancy's busy, we know that.
She sure is. I also recently heard that we were challenged with this idea of coming off of government funding, and we ended up doing that in under 2 years to be fully funded.
Correct.
By our investors, by our chairman's circle. And that's a huge accomplishment. It really opens up the doorway for proper advocacy for our business community. And those are the people who are really fueling and funding our economy. And we needed that opportunity. And so it's just been really, really cool to learn that and like see how it's come. Because now we're in year 11, 12?
Yeah, 11, 12, probably 12.
Which is awesome. So I brought up advocacy because in a recent survey, our members said that advocacy was an important aspect of their investment in the chamber, which again is all the more reason for the chamber to be independent. Do you agree?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's our job, right? We want to be the voice of business. We want to be the advocate for all of the businesses, big, small, medium, it doesn't matter. I mean, if anybody comes down to the chamber and spends a day down here, they're going to see the big of the bigs and the small businesses too being treated the same way. So we have to be that advocate for the and it's not only for the members. I mean, obviously we want to grow membership. That's hugely important. But we're being an advocate for all the businesses. And so our goal is to prove worth to them and advocate for them.
Can you talk a little bit about the advocacy experiences you've had with the chamber?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been, going and helping start the Chamber Circle and being in those initial interviews, it was a kind of a double. I was trying to advocate for the business community and the chamber why we needed it. At the same time, people who bought in, they understood advocacy too. I've seen that. I've seen just so many times that people have come together through the chamber's leadership to help each other. And that's an important thing. It's an important thing we do now, and it's something that we need to continue to grow to support all the businesses here.
For those who aren't super familiar, we have our Mem to Nash, which we bring a group of our businesses to Nashville to talk with our state officials up there to help advocate for the Memphis business agenda,
right,
and policies that would directly affect our industries here. But then we also have groups going to DC, and we've had, so many other different projects that have really related to advocacy. So, it's one of our three pillars: workforce development, economic development, and advocacy. And so it's really important that we do focus on that.
Yeah, and I don't think people understand the amount of conversations that this group, the chamber especially, leads with our city government, with our state government, and really with our federal government. So, the Mem to Nash is an awesome thing. We take over Nashville for a day and make it kind of a 901, and that's a lot of fun. But even just me getting to speak with the governor or the Speaker of the House, they understand what we're trying to do, and they see that advocacy coming. And so it works both ways, right? They understand we're trying to make Memphis all it can be, and we're doing that, and they recognize it. Same in Washington. We're going up there, I guess, next month, and it's going to be great. All the senators, all the House, we're getting to meet with all of those people kind of one-on-one with the Memphis Chamber, and we will be advocating for this city. I can promise you that.
And we thank you, because that's what we need. We need strong voices,
no question,
to share with the people who can make the difference.
But they also need to know that we care.
Yes.
And they need to know the business community is involved. For so long, Memphis was known as kind of a town run by the Memphis politics, and we have tried to alter that to say we have great local politicians, but the business community has a really, really, really big voice.
It sure does, and it needs to keep sharing that voice and
exactly.
keep growing, of course.
Keep
yes.
growing.
So I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about membership.
Yep.
So from your perspective, 13, 14 years of being a member, what are the primary benefits of becoming a member of the Greater Memphis Chamber?
I think advocacy is obviously a huge one, but like I said, we're going to advocate for all businesses, not just members. But if you're a member, you've got that direct line. Like, you can put up the bat signal. You've got the back phone to get Batman to be wherever he needs to be. And that's important. I think the other reason to be a member is one, you're supporting the business community, and that's another thing that's huge. That's where the Chamber Circle began, but it's really all membership. So every new member we add is just another support of what we can do. The opportunities you have to get out and meet with your peers, to get out and hear the voices of other business leaders, to listen to people who have gone through the struggles that you're doing, especially as a new business or a small business, and understand, what mistakes we've made that we can help you not make. It's a family, and I think that's the important thing, is that the Chamber really functions as a family. There are so many opportunities. You can be, doing something at the Chamber literally every day and learning something. So, there's no limit of what you can do with your membership, but it is also, it makes our city better by having more members.
It sure does. I will add another benefit that is really unique is our chamber care and our insurance, health
right.
coverage, workers' comp, our benefits that we offer in that way.
Right.
That's something that when I first got to the Chamber, I thought was really interesting.
Yep, and brand new. Really kind of hot off the press, right? I don't know that I'll be the first podcaster to talk about it, but probably right up there. It was brought to the board, kind of been in this planning stage for a couple of years. And to see we're kind of ground zero for this. And that's another incredible thing for Memphis, is that we're literally the ones that everybody else is watching. And that's the kind of thing we want to be. We want to be the city that everybody's watching for the right reasons.
Right. Shameless plug, being Chamber of the Year has definitely added some more national eyes across other chambers across the country. It's looking to see what we're doing.
I was definitely going to bring that up at some point. But yes, we'll bring it up every time you want to bring it up. So.
I will bring it up any chance we get.
Exactly.
That's just a huge accomplishment, and I'm just so excited for the Chamber to have that.
Yes, and for the city.
Yes.
Honestly, it is the Chamber has changed a lot since in the last 12, 13 years. And it lets everybody who's been involved in that, take a little piece and recognize it. But we also know how hard the staff here works, how hard the programming is to get people involved, to take care of those we need to take care of. All that stuff plays into it, and to think out of the box. Honestly, Ted made a great point. We really won Chamber of the Year, yes, doing great things and great deals, but we're also doing things differently that made an impact on the judges.
Yes, we're being different. We're thinking outside the box. We're innovators.
Right. We're a city of entrepreneurs, and the Chamber's being its own entrepreneur set.
Yes, exactly. So back to membership.
Yep.
What types of businesses or organizations are ideal candidates for membership?
Yeah, I honestly would say anybody that's in the old yellow pages, right? If you're a business, then you should check it out. And there's really a level for every business. Obviously you get into the Chamber Circle, there's a certain investment. There's even investors above that are the major corporations in the city. But there isn't really a reason for somebody not to be a member. I'll kind of throw it back the other way. There's lots of reasons to be a member. There's really no reason not to be a member, and that's for any business because that's what we do. We don't know, I'm sure if when Microsoft was in the garage, somebody probably thought, well, this is crazy, right? And now we know. So we want to be supportive of the garage businesses just as much as we do the ones in the towers.
Right. I love to hear those stories of, huge Fortune 500 CEOs starting something from their basement or their garage.
It's amazing. It really is. But it happens. And, we've got to celebrate that, and we need to be looking for that. And so I think the entrepreneurship part of the city, but also the Chamber promoting that is an incredible thing.
And I hear your passion for small businesses and entrepreneurs. Why should small businesses themselves join?
I think to learn. I think as much, connect and learn, right? You're going to connect with peers that are in the same, having the same problems, having the same issues. It may be a totally different business, but small businesses all face the same thing. So to have that support, I think is an important thing.
We have our small business councils, and we have the wonderful Patricia McKinney, who does incredible programming for the small businesses, gives them opportunities to learn, to network, to grow, have their questions answered. be walked through, applying for grants or, getting in touch with mentors, whomever, whatever it is.
Yeah. And Taylor, and I say this, when you walk into one of those businesses and you see, people are nervous when they especially the first time they come, they don't know what the heck to expect. And so it's kind of this thing. But once people start talking, I don't want to, it's a little bit of a therapeutic thing, right? It's therapy, and people need that. When you spend all your time building a company or spending, you have family, you have all that. But when you're running a small business, you're running a small business, and you don't get a whole lot of breaks. And so to understand other people going that and to figure out better ways to do it, I think is hugely important.
I heard somebody, I don't know where I heard this, probably somewhere on social media, that running a small business was like having 5 full-time jobs.
Yeah, at least. At least. And being a parent and there's really a teacher. There's nothing that you're not doing if you're running a small business.
And it's incredible, especially because we have so many small businesses who are already members of the chamber.
Yep.
I think 95% of our membership is small businesses.
Probably somewhere in that range, especially the way we've been growing in the membership. I would think that's probably right.
Yes, and they're incredible. And for somebody who's not a business owner, it's really cool to see all these small businesses that I didn't know we had here.
Well, yes, it's unbelievable, right?
Yes.
All the diverse businesses that are out there, and all you got to do is, take a mile and walk around a circle here, and you'll see them all. But I would also say, you say you're not running a business. Well, you are. What you do for the chamber, that's own little segment, its own little business, and running that can get complicated in itself. So imagine that's my own business, doing it. It's just the same thing, but, it may have a little bit of multiple of, because you don't ever get to really go home and turn it off.
Right.
At 10 o'clock at night, you're sitting there with your eyes on the pillow thinking about, okay, accounting or checking, or is Mary upset? Is Pete happy? Whatever it all may be, you just never really have downtime.
And so, I commend all the small business owners that are out there working hard and making a living and boosting our economy.
No question. We got to have them.
They are incredible. That kind of brings me to the next question.
Yep.
Economic development. In what ways does chamber membership contribute to economic development?
Well, I'm probably a little slanted in my view, but I think, the chamber is the most important, cog, if you want to say, of economic development. It's what we should be really putting our heart and soul into, is to bringing in companies, bringing in jobs, bringing in people that will enjoy living in the city that we love. But we also understand that there is the political side of economic development, i.e., like when Ed is doing benefits and all that, and the mayor's involved, and the governor's involved, and even Washington can be involved in some moves, economic development programs. When Ford came, pretty much there was a lot of people involved in that. But we got to kind of be the driver of it, and it was incredible. I don't think there's any better story than the XAI and what the chamber, and hearing, when Mr. Musk came out and really thanked the chamber for doing what they're doing. It was a kind of time to celebrate what the chamber's done and these new companies they're in. So the chamber has to be an integral part of economic development. But that being said, if the chamber doesn't have the members, then you can't really be an integral part. We can go out and meet these CEOs when they come in town, or site selectors come in town, and we're telling our story from a business owner, not the story of the chamber. So the chamber has to use its members to help with economic development.
It sure does. We recently had a mid-morning with Ted, and Ted was talking to the membership and the people who were there about economic development, and of course all the incredible projects we've had since over the past 7 months.
Yeah, it's crazy.
In just this year alone. And he was talking about how when one business came, other businesses who were part of that supply chain, their vendors, were either already here in Memphis, and that's why they came.
Right.
Or they came because they were trying to get business with somebody who was based here in Memphis.
100%.
And so it's he also mentioned how some of our memberships have gotten, like some of our members have gotten business from their connection here at the chamber, because when we bring in new companies, they're looking for vendors who are closer.
They are. And they want to work with, I mean, the majority of the time they're coming to this community, they know from a PR standpoint what's good, and they want to use local talent. And so that's the other part of economic development that we talk about is workforce training and jobs training and getting, getting our population skilled up to be where it needs to be, to change their life and change their family lives in some cases.
Agreed. So as a longtime member of the Greater Memphis Chamber, what has been the most unexpected benefit that you've personally gained?
I think the friendships, the contacts, the experiences, it is a lot of fun to be in a room when you're announcing something like XAI moving to Memphis, and you've kind of got the front row seat to that. I think to know there's 225 members of the Chairman's Circle and to go to those meetings, it'll always, it's kind of like family to me. So, but it's what's so great about it is it's so diverse. I mean, when we were kind of starting it, we had this close knit because it was the people I could go ask for money and was successful. Now it is such a diverse group that I would bet, I don't know what the percentage are, and I've asked Nancy, but I would bet a great percentage of them aren't Memphians but are now buying into Memphis, which is incredible.
Yes, I mean, thinking of the people who I see show up at our events and, are listed on our Chairman's Circle, they're people who might not have started here, but they are certainly participating.
They're definitely in now, and that's an incredible thing because you can get so many different perspectives that, a Memphian like me, born and raised, that I'm going to have one perspective, bring somebody from, Hong Kong, Tokyo, Chicago, wherever it is, and they come to this city. It's great to hear their perspective, and for them to stand up. They could hide behind the curtain and say, "Oh, our company won't do that," but they're jumping in both feet, and it's just incredible.
It's making Memphis even greater, and it's great to have that participation because, like you said, it's those outside perspectives, and it's learning from other people who have come from other places and other backgrounds, and it's just building a stronger and better Memphis.
No doubt.
Providing longevity.
Yep.
It's us looking into the future 10 years because of conversation that we're having today.
That's exactly right.
So reflecting on your years as a member, what's one standout chamber event or initiative that has significantly impacted your business strategy or community engagement?
So I probably can't give you one. I do remember the first Chairman's Circle get-together when we all really figured out when we were doing the planning was incredible. Just to discuss. And, we were at that point, we were kind of calling them moon missions, right? And it was like, have no trash on the streets. I mean, they were true moon missions. And it was just awesome to see that energy. And I think maybe not formed from a business standpoint, but what it told me was we're doing the right thing. I think also anytime Mr. Hyde has spoke, to the group is always something for me to listen and learn. He was always such a supporter of me and, basically saying we need young people to get involved and pushing me. And, obviously Mr. Smith passing, that's a huge thing. But people like that, Bill Rhodes, Mr. Donovan, I mean, there's just this group of people that had done so much for this city, but then also opened up their arms and said, the whole Wilson family, for me especially, but have opened up their arms and said, what can we do to help you? And so a lot of that came through the chamber and through the Chairman's Circle of getting to know the people that I've gotten to know. So it really would be hard for me to say one, thing. I think the cumulative to me is changed my life, changed business, and why I'm so excited about, my role here at the chamber.
I was, as we were talking, I was just sitting here trying to think of it. I've been here for almost a year now, and so I'm trying to go through all the events that I've been to, and I was like, oh, that one was really fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that one was really good. I met that person, and now I've got a long list of events. I'll say that I really enjoyed our annual Chairman's Luncheon.
I agree.
Such a great event. And then we had our mid-year Chairman's Forum. Those were two of my favorites.
They're great. And of course, Amy, the December Chairman's Luncheon is an incredible sight. I guess there'll be close to 1,000 people in the room, and it's already sold out. And it's going to be really exciting, I know. And then the mid-year, just to catch up and let Ted do his thing is incredible.
And then, some of our small business events, Business Over Breakfast, I've really loved getting to hear about those small businesses and what they're up to. And then we have our YPC. And as a young professional, I love going to those events and talking with peers and seeing all the incredible things that they're doing. Some of them are born and raised Memphians, some of them are not.
Right.
And it's especially exciting to see people who are like, I chose a career here in Memphis because I love Memphis, or I wasn't sure about Memphis, but I chose it and now I love it.
Yep. And we have a couple of team members that are coming to that, the YPC, and it's great. And another one's like Susan Stevenson giving back in her talks. And it's just, that's what I mean. There's so many people out here willing to help. And I would say on average, 4 to 5 young people come to my office every week just to talk about Memphis and opportunities. And, like I said, so many people that are chamber members help me. And so it's so much fun giving back and talking to them. And one of the things I always say is, all right, you need to go to the chamber, enjoy the young group over there. It's a lot of fun. So they do an awesome job.
Thank you. What is your advice for business owners debating on whether or not they should become a member?
Well, you want this chamber to support you the best we can, right? I mean, there's no question about that. And so the best way to support the chamber is to be a member. The stronger our membership is, the stronger we're going to be able to support you. So that's number one, is to build the chamber into a stronger unit. Number two is you get to meet incredible people and do incredible things. And you just get to understand how big the swath is that the chamber touches that you probably don't have a clue. I didn't have a clue. And, that's, knowing my age. I mean, that was in my 30s. I was 40 really before I got involved with the chamber. So I had all those years. But now we're a different chamber. And you have the opportunity as a young person to get in. You have an opportunity as middle age to get in. Heck, if you're even, mature, you have a chance to get in. So, but there's something for everybody. And that's what I would say is, why do you want to be a member? Because there really is something for everybody that everybody can benefit. And you just have to get to the level that you're comfortable with of giving. But there is no question in my mind that whatever you give, whatever that number is, this chamber is going to give you more value than you're giving it.
So that kind of brings me to one of my last questions here, and it's getting the most out of your chamber membership. How can members do that? Because you gotta show up, you gotta participate.
Yep.
But how can they get things from their?
Well, we all sign up for things, and we're all gonna learn guitar or learn to speak Spanish or do whatever we do, right? And then you do it for a week, and then it kind of, you get back into your normal habit. So you really have to make yourself commit to say, I'm going to go to, start with this. I'm going to go to something every quarter. So I'm going to take 4 afternoons a year off, and I'm going to go learn something. And it doesn't have to be afternoons. It could be evenings. It could be mornings, whatever. And then once you get comfortable with that, you say, okay, I'm going to do something every 2 months. And then it's maybe I'm going to do something every month. If your business is growing, you're able to do it. But you've got to, we tell the Chamber Circle this all the time. We have different committees, and we want everybody to participate on a committee so they're involved and they're full on involved. And so it's hard to change. It's hard to change your schedule. You're used to, as I say, it's Groundhog Day, right? You get up, you go to work, whatever, you go work out, you go home, you lay on whatever it may be. It's hard to say, I can take 2 hours. But what I'm saying is, if you're able to take 2 hours, you're going to get so much more benefit out of that than sitting behind your desk you don't know. So there's no question that the being a member and being an active member is where you're going to get your bang for your buck.
100%. So September is our chamber referral month.
That's right.
And it's just a month-long member appreciation, member drive, because like we've talked about today, it's just so important that we have our members. No and question. So if you are listening and know a business that's not involved with the chamber, you can go online to our website, memphischamber.com, and find out how you can recommend a business to join the chamber. And our membership team will get in touch with them and help them get involved.
Yeah, and I know this, and I love volunteering the chamber staff. Call the chamber and tell them you have somebody, and they'll get you to the right people. And if you're listening to this and not a chamber member, it's time. You're listening to this for a reason because you care about our wonderful city, and what the chamber here is doing will make you really proud.
Duncan, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much.
Look forward to the next time, hopefully. Thank you.
Of course. Appreciate it.
All right, everybody. Let's go 901.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Talk Chamber. We are so glad you're here. September is Chamber Referral Month, so if you know a business that needs to be a member of the Chamber, go on to memphischamber.com and refer them. If you enjoyed this episode or learned a valuable piece of information, share this episode with a friend or a few. Subscribe to the Talk Chamber to keep up with the latest on the Chamber, economic development, and all things Memphis. Follow us on social media at Memphis Chamber, and we'll see you next time.